Morning, Peter Goertz. I'm a psychiatrist. Suicide attempts in young people. I've been seeing quite a few. It seems like maybe more than years ago. I saw a patient recently after a suicide attempt, an overdose, and the patient was not sure after the overdose, after the suicide attempt, if he wanted to live or die still. I've seen many people after suicide attempts, and recently quite a few in young people, and over the years again more and more it seems, and including teenagers. I've seen recently 2 people in the ICU after suicide attempts. So overall my sense, just my personal sense, nothing statistical, is that young people seem to more frequently be attempting suicide, and they seem to have a more resolute attitude when they attempt suicide. So they seem more sure that they want to actually kill themselves. And there seems to be more of an attitude of not being very interested in life, somewhat of a take it or leave it attitude. So quite sad overall, that general picture that I'm getting over recent years. And this is just my personal experience. So what does that say potentially about our society? Our American society, at least, is quite focused on so-called success, finances, so financial, quote, success, appearance. And it seems like for a lot of people, life is a contest. How can I be better than the next person? A competition, basically. Let me see if I can outdo the other person. And that attitude can be seen as competitive and potentially judgmental, including judgmental of other people's political views and views in general. Now, one thing, in my opinion, to try and realize is that each of us has inherent value as a human being. So that inherent value is not connected with any kind of achievement, but just inherent, just because we're human. And that's regardless of so-called success in sports, financial so-called success, regardless of appearance, sexual attractiveness, academic achievement, all these things that people often use to compete with each other, basically, without realizing. And I'm not saying it's easy, because a lot of us at least have been indoctrinated in competitive ideas, but we don't realize that just inherently no one's better than us, in my opinion, again. And we're all connected in the sense that our attitudes affect other people, including nonverbal interactions. If we walk into a room in a certain way, people can feel that anger, and it affects their own emotional state, affects their day, the way their day is going to go. And if we're judgmental to others, that can come back to us in the sense that other people then sense that and have their own feelings about us. And if we raise our children in a judgmental household, we constantly talk about people in judgmental ways, they can absorb that, of course, and then they may feel judgmental about themselves also. They may have a judgmental attitude towards themselves, which is not helpful. Driving is a good place to notice our attitudes towards other people. Road rage is something we want to avoid. So our attitude while driving, of course, affects other people's attitudes who are also driving, and that can have serious consequences sometimes. So as a world, maybe it's a good idea to focus on kindness, courtesy, and a loving attitude. Thank you.